Hi ladies! So in response to requests I'd received about sharing my tips and tricks for applying our TruShine gel system, I decided to do a video. So today I'm going to be showing you the application of our TruShine gel. You can find the official application video on my website, but these are just the little things I've learned along the way in the year that I've been using the TruShine system. So really quickly, let's go over the tools that we're going to be using. You're going to need your Jamberry LED light and your Jamberry base coat and top coat for the TruShine system, as well as your TruShine gel color of choice, and I'm using Cherry Picker. You also need alcohol. I use the alcohol swabs instead of a bottle and cotton ball just because this allows me to have a ready swab at any time throughout application, which will be important for cleaning, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You will also need a rubber cuticle pusher. I'm using one that Jamberry supplies, but you can get one from a drugstore of your choice. The other two things that I recommend you have on hand is a little brush. Usually it's like a concealer brush or an eyeliner brush. I have one that's by e.l.f. It's $1 at the local drugstore, and it'll come in really handy for any cleaning that we might need to do. And lastly, I recommend a natural nail dehydrant. I use this under all of my lacquers, gels, and wraps. It just helps the products adhere to my nails better. And this I found on Amazon. We're going to go ahead and work with the thumb. Okay, so let's I've already wiped down my nail bed with the alcohol swab. So I'm going to take my TruShine base coat and roll it in between my hands. If you haven't already been doing this, you should be doing it. Don't shake it, because if you shake it, it'll introduce bubbles into the mixture. But rolling it, make sure all of the components mix well together for the gel enamel to work properly. And then we're going to open the bottle. And you'll notice that the stick and the brush are really goopy. So what I do is I wipe the stick on the neck of the bottle. And I do the same thing. I swirl the brush tip, and I get hardly anything on the brush. So if you notice, that's a really, really thin layer of gel. This is really all you need. And then using my thumb, or on my thumb, I go from base. There's my cat. He's complaining because he needs to be fed. Base to tip. And then I flip the brush over and around, and I push from middle of the thumb off to the end of the thumb. This is called capping. And make sure that all of the tip of your nail is covered. Then I take the brush at a 90-degree angle to my nail and sweep it along the edge of the nail so that the edges is covered. And then I clean it off into a smooth finish by going from base to tip again. Then I take the brush that I've been using to clean, and I wipe it on the alcohol swab. And I just go around the edge of my nail and edge of my cuticle to take off any of the excess that might have gotten on my skin. You don't want to cure any gel that's on your skin because it'll feel like super glue, and it'll actually encourage the gel to pop right off. And for the underside of my thumb, I take the rubber cuticle pusher, and I just run it along the underside of my thumb to collect any excess gel that went under there. And then we cure. Okay, once the cure for the base coat is done, I'm going to take my color coat, wipe off the cat hair that's sitting on the bottle. And again, you want to make sure that you've rolled it. I've been rolling mine along my thigh as my nails cure. And today I'm using Cherry Picker again. So for those of you who want to know what color this is, there's that information for you. And just like I did with the base coat, I'm going to wipe the gel that's excess on the stick off onto the neck of the bottle. And then wipe off the brush as well. And with just a little bit of color. So that's really all you need. And then starting from the base, I drag it up to the top. See how transparent that coat is? This is how you want your first coat to look. If it's any more opaque than this, there's a good chance that you're putting it on too thick. And then you turn and push color to the other side of the end of the nail, and you sweep it to make sure that it's nice and even. And again, go along the nail vertically to get color on to the tip of the nail. You take your brush and you clean along the side, get that little bit that's underneath, wipe it off. Then you take the cuticle pusher and you pull off any excess that's underneath the nail. And then you cure. Okay, once your first coat of color is cured, you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to wipe off the stick and the brush with just a little bit of color on there. And you're going to give yourself a second coat of color. Turn and push and cap. This is how we cap our nails. Nice thing about gel is that you can get messy. You can afford to get it onto your skin and stuff without fear of it drying too quickly. It won't cure without that light, and so you don't have to fear there. Now you clean using the brush and alcohol. You could use your own nail, your bare clean nail. You could use a rubber cuticle for this. I just find that I get more precision with a brush. It's just the right amount of alcohol to take it off. Yes, I know, honey. And then see how much there's left under the nail there? So I'm going to take the cuticle pusher and clean off the bottom. How that comes right off like that. And then clean that off on my alcohol swab. And see, then the bottom isn't as covered. Because there is a little bit more over here in this corner. So let me go ahead and get that. There we go. And then you cure. Okay, once your second coat is done, you can decide if you want a third coat or if you want to stay with the second coat. I like to do a third just so that I can get that really opaque finish. It's always better to do more thin coats than fewer thick coats. I know it seems tedious to have to do that, but trust me, it's a lot better than having your gels pop off too soon. So I'm going to go ahead and put the last coat of color on. Also, you probably noticed you don't wipe anything off your nail until the very, very end. So in between all these colors, you just add them right on top of the next. Push it to the end. See how it's gooping together at the end? And then you push it over to the side, over the edge, and you finish off the edge of the nail. And clean it by sweeping nicely from base to tip. Take my handy dandy brush and clean off the side there. This side. And then my cuticle pusher to get the gel under the nail. There wasn't that much that time. And then I cure the third coat of color. Now that my third coat of color is done, I'm going to get our top coat. I'm using our Shine top coat. We do have a matte finish top coat that I absolutely love. It is perfect for going over your satin and luster and matte wraps. So same thing as you've been doing. Clean off the stick. Clean off the brush. And going from base to tip, you're going to just streak it on there. You should almost feel the drag, so to speak, when you do this. If it goes on and just glides right on, you probably are using too much gel. Flip it around, cap the edge, push it over the side, finish off the ends. One last sweep to make it nice and even. Clean the edges. And underneath the nail, wipe that down, and then cure. Once your top coat is cured, you take the alcohol swab you've been using to clean off your cuticle pusher, and using the back side that's clean, you're going to wipe off your nail bed. Just wipe it off. This is going to remove all of that tacky stickiness of the gel. And when you're done wiping it, you should get a shiny finish, but you'll also notice that there's some color residue on your alcohol swab. This is perfectly normal. And so if you see this, don't freak out. It's normal. It does that just about every color except our sparkle or glitter ones. Go over it for good measure. My cat is trying desperately to get my attention. I'm almost done. And then, now that you've got your gel finish, when you look at it from the side, you shouldn't see too much thickness. It should be fairly thin, almost flush against your nail. And your edges should be clean and you should get a shiny finish. If you get a streaky finish where it's shiny and then there's streaks of dullness, that usually means you've used too much gel. And sometimes what can combat that is you can cure it more than once, especially at the very end with the top coat to kind of compensate. But generally, if you put thin coats on, you shouldn't have any problem with the streaky finish. So again, this is what it looks like when you're done compared to my bare nail over here. Now I can do the rest of my nails. If you want to use our TruShine system on top of just our wraps, the process is exactly the same except you take out the color coats. So you just do the base coat and the top coat. And it seals your wrap application to extend the life of those wraps for a few more days. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact me and I'd be happy to help you troubleshoot. Until next time!